Hi, Yin Yogis. Thanks for tuning in with us today for a little bit of Yin Yoga. I am Sue, and today I am joined by Shannon, and we'll start our practice together. So come to a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that feels like for you. Just allow yourself to begin to settle in. Feel the body start to become heavy. While the body is heavy, the spine is strong and tall. Begin to notice the gentle breath in your body. And let go. Let go of anything that might be weighing on you, troubling you today. And just settle into a space where you can feel calm, where you can feel at peace. Now, today's practice, I'd like to focus on joy. In fact, we'll be trying to tap into the meridians that are said to bring joy. And that would be our heart and small intestines meridians. So you might focus for a moment on joy, what brings you joy, as you're centering. And take a moment to be purposeful in your settling, in your becoming present. Purposeful, bringing joy to your heart, to your body, to your practice. Now we'll start to come into our very first pose for today's practice, coming into butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together. Now in Yin Yoga, you are encouraged to bring a lot of space between your feet and your body. So just notice if you're trying to bring your feet close, give yourself space. You could also place blocks or blankets underneath your knees if your hips feel like they want some support. You can start to bend forward, and if that bothers you in any way, use some support here. So maybe a block or even a stack of blocks. Your forehead could rest there. Another option, if you're looking for some support, is to grab a bolster. You'll turn that bolster on its side and then just lean over the bolster. That's going to give you a lot of support. You could even use a block and a bolster together. So take a few moments in the beginning, adjusting your body so that you come into the most perfect space for you. Now, I am in charge of the timer, making sure that we are in the pose long enough, but not too long. So usually we are here anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, settling into the posture. So the very beginning of the posture, that's when you might wiggle a little bit, change a little bit, find your way into the shape that suits you best right now. So that could look different from yesterday or 2 weeks ago. I'll try to find some ease and comfort through the hips. Notice if you're engaging any muscles around that area. Soften your glutes. Notice your leg muscles. Are you engaging the inner thighs or the outer thighs? Let the muscles soften. And then notice your back as you're rounding forward. So ease the tension through the low back. Notice your shoulders. Just let the shoulder blades gently fall away from one another. Notice your neck. And once you have adjusted, arranged your body, allow yourself to come into stillness, complete stillness. And today I'm thinking about joy, thinking about the small intestine, heart meridian pair. And when that pair is in balance, when that energy or chi is in balance, then you might feel the joy of your life. Allow the joy to be felt. Just taking a moment, checking back in, making sure that you're still here and present, still noticing the ease and the softness of your body. You might stay here just another breath or two. When it's right for you, begin to release the posture. Use your arm strength to lift up, so press down maybe on the mat or your legs and slowly start to straighten out the spine. And then once you have the shoulders stacked over the hips, the spine is tall, just pause for a moment here and allow your body to connect with the mind. Feel what's going on in your body. Now you can stay still here a little bit longer. If you're ready to move the legs, place your hands underneath the thighs or the knees. I like to keep the knees bent and then wrap my arms around the shins, but you could absolutely straighten your legs if that feels better. But give yourself a moment to feel again. Make that connection. Now instinctively, your body might want to move here. So just listen to your body. So you could windshield wiper the knees side to side. Maybe you feel like you need a little bit of action through the spine, a nice twist or a seated back bend. Really connect to your body and do whatever you want to do. Reset before the next posture. So the next posture that you'll do today is a recline twist. If you like props, a bolster, a blanket, or blocks, then bring your props within arm's reach before you lie back down. Now you'll scoot your hips just a little bit over toward the right. Bring the knees into your chest and then let your knees drop toward the left. Now here you could use a prop under the knees or between the knees. It could be a bolster, a blanket, a block, whatever feels good. You could also place a blanket on top of your top leg or thigh, and that might help you stay in the pose or experience the pose. Knees a little closer to the chest or knees farther away will also give you a different feeling or sensation. Just allow your shoulders to come toward the mat without any effort here. So as you allow your right shoulder to come toward the mat, it doesn't have to touch, not in this yin practice. Just allow gravity to gently pull it toward the earth. And maybe your head also moves in that direction. Just notice how you feel in the neck. Let your body settle in. And maybe you are thinking again about joy. Now, the season that is associated with joy is summer. So maybe here you can have a vision of your favorite summer scene. Maybe for you that is the beautiful flowers. Maybe it's the green grass. Maybe it's a glowing yellow sun and a bright blue sky. What vision brings you joy? Let go of any tension here. Notice if there's tension from your shoulders down toward your hips. Everything is at rest. everything feels easy. Notice if your mind has started to wander off. No judgment, it's okay. Just come back into this space in this moment, maybe thinking about a scene that fills you with joy. I'll just notice the way your body has eased into this posture. Often the longer you stay, the easier the posture becomes. The easier it is to settle in and slow down. Now you'll start to release on this side, so just come on back through center, adjust your hips, and pause for a moment here. Your back nice and flat, no twist through the spine. Move a little bit if you feel like you want to move before you go to the other side. And then as you're ready, scoot the hips just a bit toward the left. Bring the knees into the chest, and then let your knees fall over to the opposite side, so over toward the right. Now you can again use a prop here under the legs or between the legs. Now it doesn't matter if you did on the other side. If you feel like you want to use a prop on this side, then please go ahead and do that. Allow your shoulders, so this time left shoulder, to gently fall toward the floor, toward the earth. Find a comfortable place for both of your arms. And then search through the body. Do you feel the twist in the body? In the space where you feel the most sensation, is there any muscular engagement? Muscles are always trying to be there and work for our protection. So sometimes they are working and we don't even realize it. So from your shoulders all the way to your hips, just check in. Make sure that you are really able to let go, really able to release. And then let yourself settle here. Maybe you're thinking about joy again. Could always relate it back to the season of summer. And season of summer, when it's so warm, you are maybe feeling a little more free. You're not encumbered with heavy shoes and heavy clothes. Maybe there's a certain scent or smell of summer. The cut grass, maybe the smell of the ocean. Allow your thoughts to come to a space that brings you joy, that fills your heart. And then allow yourself to dwell in that space, to settle in that space, to ease into that space. are your thoughts? Where is your mind at this moment? Without judgment, come back here and allow yourself to feel that sense of joy, that happiness. Now really drink in the last few moments of this posture. Notice the way your body really let go into the posture, really released into the posture. You can always stay here a few more breaths. When you're ready to release, come on back through center, adjust the hips. You can bring the arms beside you, let the hands rest on the belly, and just feel the effects. Now listen to the body, and if the body wants to move, then react. So maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side. You could always bring the knees into the chest or take a happy baby here. If you feel like you need to move some muscles, engage a little bit. Bridge pose is a great way to engage. It's a little bit more yang to counter the yin. And then when you're ready for the next pose, you're going to come onto your belly for Sphinx pose. So you could just roll over on your mat, bring your elbows right underneath your shoulders, so shoulders are lifted. You can separate the feet a little wider than the hips. So for Sphinx pose in Yin, you can allow the head to drop. If that bothers your neck, grab a block, let your forehead rest on the block. Sometimes that feels really nice, even if you don't need the support. If you're looking for a little more sensation, you can grab some blocks and place them underneath your elbows. That'll feel like a deeper back bend. If you are looking for a little more comfort, maybe you have back issues and you don't want to do a really deep back bend, you can always change a little bit here by separating the elbows a little bit wider. And another option is to place one hand on top of the other and let your forehead rest there. So those are some nice ways to change the pose up a little bit. Remember the first bit of each posture, that's there for you to move, to change, to adjust. Connect with your body, listen to your body. And then once you've found that space that's right for you, become still. Part of that stillness is releasing the muscles. So in this pose, sometimes the glutes try to engage. The glutes try to engage just to help to support or protect the back. You're in a safe place, you're in a good position, so let those glutes soften. Notice if there's any tension in your low back. Notice what's going on in your upper back and your chest. So you may feel like the shoulder blades are lifting out of your shoulders just a little bit. You may feel like the chest expands. If the head is dropping toward the floor without support, just notice how the neck feels. Feel your breath. Feel the belly move as you breathe. Belly moves against the mat, maybe a deeper awareness of your breath. This is a nice heart opener. We're thinking about the heart and small intestine meridian, trying to think about joy. So allow your heart to fill with joy. Now, sometimes a sound can bring you joy, and the sound associated with this meridian pair is laughter. So you might think about the laughter that belongs to someone that you love, or maybe every time you hear a small child laugh, it brings a smile to your face. What sounds fill you up? What sounds bring you joy? Allow yourself to surrender to this lovely, passive back bend. Now, if your body wants a little bit more, you can always work in Sphinx for a little bit. So Sphinx, you'll straighten the arms, lock out your elbows, bring the hands a little closer to the body if you're looking for more of a back bend. Now for me, Sphinx is not a great place, Seal is not a great place, so I'm going to move back into my Sphinx pose. We'll be here just for a short time, so just mindful of how you feel if you decided to take Seal. If you decided to take Seal, notice if suddenly your glutes started to engage or other muscles. Try to soften, try to ease into the space. Both Seal and Sphinx you can release. So an option is to put one hand on top of the other, let your forehead come to rest there. You could also bring the arms by the side and bring your cheek to the mat or toward the floor. One might feel just a little bit better for your shoulders. If you've got your cheek on the floor, just be sure to turn to the other side for the same length of time, so the neck sort of equals out. Now it might be nice just to stay there in stillness. If you're looking for a little bit of movement, you could always bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet side to side. Child's pose is a really nice option, a few moments of stillness in child's pose. If you opted to take child's pose, you might move a little bit, sway the hips, or move the head. If you're looking for still more, maybe a little cat and cow, or down dog would be that nice young alternative. The best way to counter the postures is to listen inwardly for guidance. When you're ready for the next posture, you're going to come onto your seat and prepare for square pose. You can bring your left leg underneath, bend at the knee so the shin's sort of parallel to the top of your mat. And then you can take the other leg, your right leg, and place it on top. Now if that feels like too much, just place a block underneath your right ankle or your right foot. If that still feels like it's too much, straighten out that bottom leg, left leg extends. You could also bring the foot to the inside of your thigh. So you'll work a little bit to find the proper beginning for you. And then you'll bow forward, begin to bend forward. So just like before, if that doesn't feel right for the neck or feel right for your back, we've got options. So one option is to grab your bolster, tilt it on its side, and then just lean over the bolster. Bolster and a block if that feels better. So that gives you so much support there. That might feel nice. You could do a little bit less support, grab a block or a stack of blocks and let your forehead rest there. So this square pose tends to be pretty intense for the hips. And if you're feeling like it's really intense, then make sure that you're choosing a position or a shape that relieves a little bit of that intensity. So we want to find the appropriate edge, not too much, not too little. If it's too much, it's difficult for the muscles to really rest, and your mind might be distracted by the intensity. So find the perfect place today. Really, your deepest wisdom is to listen to your body and then respond appropriately. So nice big hip opener here. Notice how you feel in the hip area. Are you engaging muscles in your legs or in your glutes? Notice as you're rounding forward how you feel in the muscles along the spine. Find some ease there. Notice the shoulders, release the tension. Notice how your neck feels, especially if the head is dropping forward without support. Notice if you're holding tension in any other space, maybe muscles on your face or even your jaw. Really settle in here and allow joy to take you over, to fill you up. Notice here how your muscles have relaxed a bit, how your whole body has come into the posture. When you're ready to release the posture, just start to straighten the spine. Now use a little arm strength here. Protect the muscles around your spine. And then once you have lifted up, just pause again. Feel the body. You can stay still or you can release the legs. When you're ready to release the legs, one hand under the foot, one hand underneath the knee or the thigh. Now you can straighten the legs right away or you can keep the knees bent. That's my preference there. I can wrap my arms around my shins. Now you might stay here in stillness for a bit. Maybe straighten the legs or start to add a little movement. You can rock the knees side to side. Do a nice stretch for the back of the legs in a forward fold. Really, it's whatever your body is calling for. This is an opportunity for you to connect to your body. Now, when you're ready, you'll start that square on the other side. So this time, right leg is on the bottom. Left leg comes on top. All the same options are there. So you could place a foot or an ankle on the block. You can extend the bottom leg. So right leg can extend, straighten out. You can bring the foot to the inside of the thigh. That might feel a little better. Now, one side to the other usually feels pretty different. So know that you can look different from side to side. As you are rounding forward, those options that were there before are still there for you. So when you're rounding through the spine, you can find some support from a block or a bolster. Think about how your back feels when you're coming into this. So the hips often feel like they're getting more or a little more intensity in the stretch as you round forward, but also notice how you feel in your back, your low back, mid back and shoulders. Notice your neck. Give the body support where it's asking for support. And let the tension just disappear from the body. Wherever that tension is, wherever that tightness is, allow it to escape. As the tension leaves the body, allow the sensation to be replaced with joy, with happiness. Every few breaths, you might take a moment to scan the body, just looking for places where tension crept back in, and then mindfully, purposefully release in those spaces. And begin to slowly exit from the pose by lifting the upper body. Slowly, one vertebra at a time, stack the spine, and then pause in stillness. At least a breath or two, just enough to connect with how you feel different, rounding forward and then sitting upright. When you are ready to release the legs, do so with care. So one hand to the foot, one hand underneath your thigh. Legs can be bent or legs can be straight, but take another place, another position that allows you some stillness, that allows you an opportunity to connect. That stillness lasts as long as you want, so you could be still a little longer. Listen to your body. So if the instinct in your body is to move, then that's the right thing to do, whatever that movement looks like. Now, there's no rush. When you're ready for the next posture, you'll need a cushion, a pillow, a bolster, something like that. You're coming into a reclined fish pose. So you'll place the cushion, the pillow, the bolster on your mat, about where your shoulders are. And I like a block underneath the head, so I'm going to make sure that's in my reach. Now, lie back on your mat. And you want that cushion to be just underneath the shoulders, so the tip of your shoulders kind of come off of the cushion or the bolster. And then if it feels right for you, you can have a block underneath your head. Just think about how your neck feels. That could be another pillow or a blanket as well. So adjust here for the upper body. You could have your hands on your belly. Arms could be overhead. Arms can be wide. And then your legs could be straight. That's traditional. You could also do butterfly here, soles of the feet touch. Or you could take a variation where the knees touch and the feet are on the mat. So you might try all three variations and then choose the one that feels best for you. And once you've got your body into the space where you want to settle, take a moment to notice. So in this fish pose, thinking about opening through the heart, you're in this back bend that is supported here by the cushion or the bolster that's underneath you. So your back is completely at rest in this back bend. It allows the front part of the body to really open up. Maybe you can feel it as you breathe, your belly and your ribs, the way they expand on the inhale and gently come back, constrict on the exhale. Now the heart is wide open here. So think about what fills your heart. It could be a special person. Maybe it's your pet. Maybe it's a memory. Just let your heart be filled. When our hearts are filled with joy, then we can share joy with others. We can genuinely share joy. So allow that sensation to bubble up in you, to fill you up, fill your cup. Well, as you are filling up on joy, you're releasing any kind of tension wherever you hold on to it. Maybe it's the jaw or the shoulders. Maybe it's your back. Letting it all go as you ease into this space. Notice just how full your heart is and how easy your body feels. Maybe you want to stay in that position a little longer. If your arms are overhead, bring your hands to your belly. And if you were in butterfly, bring your knees to touch. You'll remove the prop from underneath you, so you might sit up and move the bolster or blanket or cushion out of the way. And then come back onto your back, legs straight or knees bent, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And then just feel. Feel your back side, feel your front side. Maybe the body wants to be still. Maybe the body wants to move. So this will be the last chance to move before Shavasana. So take any movement, any little stretch that will give the body more comfort in your final posture. And then when you're ready, you'll start to make your way into Shavasana. So I like to use the props in Shavasana. Here I've got 2 blocks and then I'm placing a bolster on top. And I'm going to bring my calves to rest on top of the bolster. This feels pretty good for my back. Now you could always use a prop underneath your back if that feels better for you. A blanket, just so you can feel warm and cozy. Get into a space that brings you the most relaxation. Arms could be wide, palms up. You might walk the shoulder blades together just a little bit. The lips are gently touching, and the tongue gently falls away from the roof of your mouth. And this is the most comfortable that you have felt all day. Let yourself feel full of joy, joy perfectly balanced within you. And then be still. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana just as long as you like. It's always an honor and a privilege when you allow me into your home to guide you through your practice. Namaste.